Back to the daily grind. Thanks for checking out the channel. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back pickle biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
You know, I was listening to the MMA beat last week before UFC 217, before the craziest night of MMA of the year easily, before arguably the greatest night of MMA of all time. I said arguably, so don't get your fucking panties in a bunch. And they were talking about, of all three champions, if any of them were to lose, who deserves the rematch the most? And everyone was in agreement that would be Joanna Jędrzejczyk. And to me, I was already thought that too. Like, yeah, Joanna, if she loses, she's probably getting her rematch, let's be real. But take into fact the way Joanna lost, first round knockout, tapping the strikes, the lead up to the fight, the disrespect of Rose, whenever Dana White was even talking at the press conference, Joanna would interrupt him. No, boss, not if I win, when I win. Boss, you know what I'm saying? Dana White looked a little perturbed, like, did she really just interrupt me like that? But Joanna, man, she was confident coming into the fight, talking trash, taking shots at Rose, and her mental health a little bit, and actually just taking blatant shots. She said, you're mentally unstable and all type of stuff. So with all of the venom and the way that Joanna lost, Rose Namajunas doesn't think that a rematch is actually called for. She said, she tapped a strike. When she got up, she was a little wobbling, but still, she had to somewhere, there was some taps somewhere in her. So Rose Namajunas doesn't feel like the rematch is next. And that's very, very interesting to me, because I just kind of automatically assumed that was next. I didn't really. But now that Rose says this, think about it. Is Cody Garbrandt getting a rematch? No. And what's the reason, Part of the reason is because all of the venom leading up to it, all of the accusations. But another reason is TJ Dillashaw said, I just finished him in the second round. Whenever Luke Rockhold got knocked out by Michael Bisping in the first round, did he get a rematch? Nope. What did Dana White say? You don't deserve anything. You just got knocked out in the first round. And unfortunately for Joanna, man, that kind of... It sucks, but that fight is kind of being counted as a knockout and a submission. Like, really. That left hook that dropped Joanna was so clean, people are counting it as like a knockout. But the truth is, Joanna tapped. So I think it goes in the books as a submission. So the fact that she got knocked down like that and then tapped, this fight's really being counted like a double whammy, man. And it's kind of crazy because... listening to Rose talk on the MMA Hour, I don't believe Joanna's going to get an immediate rematch. Now, the MMA Hour is still going on, and Joanna Jędrzejczyk is showing some courage, and she's coming on the MMA Hour later in a little bit, and I'm sure she's going to have something to say. Now, when asked about her first title defense, Rose said, I've kind of thought about, I'm curious to see who was going to call me out, and who the next fight is, but really, I haven't thought about who I personally want to fight, So it's time for these girls, I guess, to start calling out Rose, and Rose is going to be looking for responses, but depending on what Joanna says, and I don't even know what she can say. We'll see what Dana White in the UFC, they might be able to influence Rose into a decision, because Rose did say, it's not like 100% the rematch is not next. She said anything's possible for sure, but Rose isn't seeing the rematch with Joanna immediately. And that's very interesting to me, because Joanna was undefeated. She was en route to breaking Ronda Rousey's record as the strawweight queen. She was looking like a dominant force, unstoppable. Rose came through and shocked the world, and now it's looking like Joanna might have to climb back, which is very possible. Joanna's pretty much beat everybody in the strawweight division as far as the number 1 contender, the number 2 contender, the number 3 contender. The only person really hasn't beat is Rose. There's some other girls she hasn't fought now, newer girls, Cynthia Calvillo's. I don't believe Joanna's ever fought Paige Van Zandt, which would be interesting. But now that Rose is the champion, it's not looking like Joanna's getting an immediate rematch. So with that being said, it is what it is. Let the full-time family know what the fuck you tell me in the comments. I'm out.
Bye, Felicia.